In the name of Allah, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh to all of you. This is for the class 5th and we are reading the topic Air and Water. And in the last topic, students, we saw what are the sources of water, and we read that only 3% of the total water on the earth's surface can be used for the drinking purposes, and we also read that 97% of water is present in the oceans. And today we will check out one more topic, that is quality of water. Students, as you people might be knowing that all oceans and sea contain salty water. That is, the water is full of salt. The oceans and the seas contain salty water. On the other hand, the rivers that flow, they contain the water that is pure. That is, the water in the rivers does not contain salt. But what happens to this water? When this water keeps flowing, then the mud and another impurities like silt and stone get dissolved in this river water. Where from these impurities come? They come by the activities of man. As we know that we people are responsible for polluting the water bodies, because majority of the people, they throw the household garbage in the nearby streams that run near their houses, and thus they pollute the river water. And nowadays human beings have polluted all the water bodies that are present near their houses or near their homes, and wherever the humans are present, they just throw out all the household garbages, well as the industries that have been created for different purposes. The different pollutants that come out from the industries, that are also discharged in the water bodies, and hence the water has been polluted to a greater extent. Students, the substances that make our water unfit, those substances are called as impurities. So, by throwing the garbage and by throwing the different harmful chemicals into the water, our water becomes unfit for drinking, and the substances that make our water unfit for drinking, those substances are called as impurities. Remember, students, that impurities are of two types. Number first, soluble impurities, and number second, insoluble impurities. Soluble impurities are those impurities that dissolve in water. It includes the examples like salts of potassium and salts of magnesium. Number second, insoluble impurities include those impurities that do not dissolve in water. For example, sand and mud. It can also include the polythene, etc., or plastic. Those are also insoluble. They make our water unfit for drinking. They make our water contaminated. Students, the contaminated water creates many diseases in man. Here on your book there is a question that can you name some of the diseases that are created by the contaminated water? This is a homework for you. You have to mention 3 diseases that are caused by the contaminated water. This is a very easy question, and I hope that you people can answer this question. Just write down the 3 diseases caused by the contaminated water. Now students, we will see how we do get water. As I have already told you in the last topic that the main source of water is rain. Students, we get water also from different water bodies like oceans, like seas, like lakes, like ponds, etc. We also get water from ground, and that water is called as groundwater. You can know that the use of wells and hand pumps, that is the water that we get from ground, and that's called as groundwater. Students, the main source of water is rainfall, and it provides water to every part of the globe except some desert areas. And students, one more point, that it is the rainfall that can't be predicted with any accuracy in any part of the world. Now students, here are some questions. Tick the correct answer. Which of the following is not a use of water? You have to see which of the following is not a use of water. Number 1, cleaning, it is a use of water. Number 2, evaporation, and number 3, drinking. So the answer is evaporation. Evaporation is not a use, but it is a process by which we get rainfall. Number 2, water can't dissolve. What it can't dissolve? Salt, sand, or sugar? The answer is sand. That sand is an insoluble impurity and it doesn't dissolve in water. Number 3, the substances that make the water unfit to use are called, as we read it, they are called as impurities. Now students, we will see that how can we purify water from insoluble impurities, and also the topic that how can we remove the soluble impurities from the water. Students, we can remove soluble impurities as well as insoluble impurities from water, and this we will check in our next topic.